Welcome back to March or Die Podcast. I am the Stress Master.
And I am the tumor, as I say every week, not because I'm malignant, but because I simply marched spot B9.
That's right, B9. I remember that spot. Well, I marched B10. I marched next to you for a while. In 89. Was it 89?
Longest year of my life.
I know.
Longest year of my life, man.
I know, but it all worked out. I'm cool now, so it's all good. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all for watching. Actually, you know what? I actually had an additional announcement, but I need to find it first, but that's okay. We'll get to it in a second. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. We have a lot on this show. We're going to try to cram it in here and get everything in that we want to talk about today. We do have some news. We have a video we're going to be watching about a show that's coming in 2024. There's already been some hype around that. And then we're going to be doing a little tribute to one of our favorite cores, the Velvet Knights. So can't wait for that.
But of course, we wouldn't admit it at the time that we actually liked them, but I think we did actually like them at the time.
You know, I've always liked the Velvet Knights, but there was a rivalry between us and them because we were both California cores. We're kind of in the lower top 12 area most of the time competing, so I think there was a little bit of rivalry, but man, they always had amazing drum lines. Great drum lines, man. Just like you would like Velvet Knights would be like beating everybody in drums and they're like in 12th place. It was just like, what is going on here? But they're amazing.
The thing I always liked about we call it rivalry. It wasn't really a rivalry because we actually, half of the members of both corps probably went to school with each other. I mean,
sorry, hold on. I did a boo-boo. Continue on. Start with rivalry. Sorry, I did a boo-boo.
So I mean, I don't know if I'd actually call it a rivalry because, I mean, let's be honest. We pretty much, both the freelancers and the VK, most of us went to school with each other. But I always liked the banter between the two corps, especially at retreats. Funny little story I'll remind you of was the banana incident. Do you remember that one, Justin?
No. Should I remember that?
You don't remember finals where we all pulled bananas out of our cadets and stomped them into the turf at Arrowhead?
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't a part of that.
Were you not? Oh, there was a bunch of us that did. So, but I also remember those little things like in '89 when the freelancers, we were doing the ET. And we would be at retreat, and just random bits of Reese's Pieces would end up in our retreat block coming over from the Velvet Knights contrabass section. I also specifically remember once them with an ET doll and a hangman's noose swinging it around the contrabass section as well. So yeah, it was lots of little fun little jibes that we took at each other. But yeah, we're going to react to one of their shows today, and I just wanted to say to everybody, Happy New Year as well. So.
Yes, Happy New Year. And next week, make sure you don't miss, because we're going to be talking to the executive director of Spirit of Atlanta, Jason Burns. I'm really excited about that. I'm stoked because I love Spirit. I've always loved Spirit, even when people were like, oh, they're, whatever place. I don't care. I like Spirit of Atlanta. I just like what they stand for.
And I think for you and I, obviously, we both marched with Jason as well, so it's kind of like seeing one of our own all grown up and done good,
Yeah, like us on this podcast.
He done all grown up and stuff.
All right, let's continue forward. I'm going to... So, you don't even know this, so I've created some memberships for our channel, for the channel here. So let me go ahead and bring that up. Okay, so we are looking at the March or Die TV page. I'm going to put this in the description so you guys can get there. But there's a lot of cool stuff you can see here. First off is all of our wonderful videos. 106. Can you believe I have 106 videos on here? And I'm actually missing some videos that I have not even uploaded yet. So there's quite a bit more to come. Make sure you're subscribed, of course. And there's this little link right here that probably a lot of people pass over, and that's the March or Die official merch site. So on this site, you can look at all kinds of cool products. I'm actually going to be updating some products today as I'm recording this video. But we have look at all this cool stuff, man. All this cool merch. I'm going to actually Yeah, you need to tell me what you want so I can get you your merch. But I'm actually going to be updating and adding something for the podcast. So I do need to get that logo from you. But look at this. You can do colors, sizes. Like I said, I am going to be doing some additional updates, adding some more designs to the site. I haven't really refreshed it in a little bit. All right, but also one thing you can do to support the channel is join. So this is brand new. You can join the membership for the March or Die TV channel. If you are a premium member, you get your first month for free on any channel membership up to $10. So that's kind of cool of YouTube to do that. So we have 3 different tiers. The first tier is called Rookie, and it's $1.99 a month. And this will give you loyalty badges and early access to new videos. So as we are uploading new videos, once we get memberships going, you'll be the first to see those before anyone else.
So with rookies, are there like some sort of initiation? Do they have to wear a rookie shirt or something like that? Do they have to wear like a shirt that we've worn for the podcast and sweat in and stuff like that, or what?
Yes, they do. They have to wear a shirt and have many people sweat in it. I hated that rookie shirt. That was so nasty. You can get like a staph infection from that, dude. That's gross.
I wore it at quarterfinals in '87.
You know what? Did I wear the rookie shirt? I don't know if I even have to wear the rookie shirt.
Well, the funny thing about the rookie shirt in '87 is we only had like a half a dozen vets in the course, so it was just the same vets sweating over and over and over again. I remember one of the bus drivers used the rookie shirt to wash the windscreen of the bus as well.
The next level is called Veteran. So you're also going to get the same as the rookie level. You're going to get the badges and the early access to new videos. Also member shoutouts, and then we're also going to have members only live streams. So at this tier, we're going to actually have special live streams just for you. So, as you guys know, I've done a couple live streams in the past. Haven't had a lot of participation, so I kind of stopped those for a while. But maybe we might even have one here. We might even do this show live for you guys, and you're going to see all the beautiful magic that happens as we try to record this podcast. All right.
It's a completely seamless process, by the way.
Oh, yes, with clever editing. And the last one, of course, is Super Vet. So with Super Vet, you get all the previous tiers perks, but then we're also going to be doing special social media stuff, and then also members-only videos. So there's going to be only videos you can see. No one else will be able to see unless you're a member, and we're going to do those specifically for our members. So I hope you guys join one of those tiers. That'd be fantastic. Help support this channel. We would really, really appreciate it, and it would help us and help you guys get more. And as we get closer and closer to the season, we're gonna have more and more to talk about. So we actually have some more to talk about here coming up. So.
But if I may, though, just remember, though, if you look, times are tough, and if you can't afford it, that's fine. What you can do, which is absolutely free, costs you nothing at all, but it does us a great service, is like Justin said, make sure you press that subscribe button, ring the bell for it so that you get notified when a new video comes out, and comment and share the videos as well. So, and that costs you absolutely nothing, and we would really appreciate it.
Yep. And then you can also go to the community page, where every now and again, I'm going to be posting different things, and I'm going to get Kanan access so he can come in here and do stuff as well. But I wanted to bring up our poll. So we had our poll right before the break, and it looks like the clear winner for our who's going to be the next versus battle, and we had Garfield in SEV 1987, Blue Devils versus Blue Coats, Blue Devils versus Cavies, Star versus Cadets for 93. I'm surprised this didn't get more. And then we had 2022. This was really close between these two, but they're both Blue Devils and both Blue Coats. But it looks like 2014, my friend.
Why don't we do them both?
We can't do them both. It takes too much time. Well, we can do them separately, maybe.
That's what I mean. Yeah, let's do them both. We'll do 2014 one week. We'll do 2022 the week after.
Yeah, and then we'll get that. It's a lot of work. So we need to get our clips together. It's going to be after the 13th, so we'll do it on the 20th podcast. So 2 weeks from today, we'll do that because we have our guest next week. So can't wait for that.
So being the gentleman that I am, I will let you choose. Who do you wish to defend?
Ooh, I'm going to defend the Bluecoats.
That's the right answer.
I'm going to defend the Bluecoats because I think they should have won. But we're going to see, right? We're going to see. We're going to provide our cases and see who won there.
There you
cool.
Go.
I was excited. I was really hoping it was this one.
You're going to lose again.
I didn't lose last time.
Well, you're going to take your first L. And now, the news. So, first things first, again, as I said last podcast, it is the middle of the winter, so news is a little bit sparse. That being said, something that I did come across the other day that I think is pretty important for people to know is in the DCI all-age class, Reading Buccaneers. I was told off because I pronounced it reading, by the way, but Reading Buccaneers have announced that there is no camp in January due to the weather. So if you were planning on traveling, you might want to just double, triple check that. But that was on their Facebook page the other day. A couple other little things I wanted to talk about. I had to peruse through everybody's favorite drum corps and marching arts broadcaster, Flow Marching, through their page. And they've actually, in the beginning of December, dropped their schedule for WGI. Well worth a look. No need to put it up on the screen here, but if you go to flowmarching.com and have a look there, if you're a subscriber to Flow Marching, I tell you what, you're going to get your money's worth out of that. They're doing a lot of events in the WGI area. And that does also include the WGI championships as well. So well worth a check there. Further on, a number of corps have also announced various shows. So in the last podcast we talked about the Madison Scouts, and there was a little bit of talk about what their show was. They have actually announced their full repertoire now, which looks quite interesting. I did a bit of a deep dive on these, and some amazing music in this show. They're opening with Unholy by Sam Smith, White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. I said Jefferson Starship. They weren't yet Jefferson Starship back then. So Jefferson Airplane. They're doing a piece called Asturias, which I couldn't see who that's from, so I'm assuming that is possibly a bespoke piece for them. Egyptian Danza by Al Di Meola, which is an amazing piece of music. Memento Magico by, I'm going to pronounce these horribly, Ulf Wakanius and Yon Sunna. And they're closing with a piece called Sati by the Berkeley Indian Ensemble. So Berkeley College of Music Indian Ensemble. Well worth a look to have a look on YouTube to check those out. Some really, really cool stuff there. And finally, because there isn't a lot to talk about, Dan Potter recently interviewed Mary Duerkop, the new corps director for Troopers. If that name sounds familiar to her, it's because Mary was the brass caption head for the last few years. Done some amazing stuff with that brass line. About their show, Dance with the Devil. I believe we're going to play a little bit of a video here to talk about it, but let's just say, if you're expecting sunshine and roses out of Troopers, you might be sorely disappointed.
Wow, that was a really good sound.
Mary Duerkop is the new corps director for the Troopers, speaking to her at the DCI winter meetings. Welcome, first of all.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
I bet you're excited about the new role, too. Why did you agree to be the corps director for Troopers?
I feel like I was talked into it a little bit, but I saw a need, and it allows Mike, our previous corps director, to move up into the executive role, which is great for our growing drum corps. So I'm really excited to help out with this opportunity and help the troopers grow.
Mary, you came to this job from brass caption head at the Troopers. Is it going to be hard to step back from that instructional role?
I've noticed a few times at the audition camps, I'm hearing things and have to tell myself not to say anything, take a step back, because we trust in the staff, and I trust the people that took over for my position, and want to give them the opportunity to do that. But yeah, I hear things and I have to say, no, you don't get to react anymore. Look at more spreadsheets, talk to the kids.
Troopers have had momentum the last couple of years, absolutely. What are you going to do to keep that momentum going?
Our consistent staff is something that is huge. I think that's really going to help the competitive aspect and the growth of the Troopers brand. People know what they're going to get when they see the Troopers and when they hear the Troopers. So we're excited to keep that consistency in there and keep bringing entertaining and exciting shows.
Speaking of shows, I don't know if I've ever been able at a winter meeting before to ask a corps director about their show because it's already been announced. Your show is called Dance with the Devil in 2024. First of all, before you tell us about the show, why did you decide to announce your show concept so early?
Our design thought process starts really early, and we like to allow the kids to kind of know what they're getting into. It gives them an opportunity to align with the show, and we're going to play show music at our January camp, and that gives them an opportunity to just kind of see what it's all about and experience the show a little bit.
What can you tell us about that theme, Dance with the Devil?
It's a little bit of a continuation from last year, so we may or may not see Sunny the Sun Prop again, and it goes on the other side of Sunshine and Daisies.
Interesting. All right, we'll leave it there. Mary, welcome to your new job as Troopers Corps Director.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that's interesting. I wish they would have talked more about the show, but I guess we'll get more of that as we go along.
Yeah, there was a couple of things out of that I found interesting. Number one is, we're probably not going to get much as far as any actual repertoire or anything like that. But she did say they're going to be playing show music at the end of January, and Troopers have always, of recent at least, have been very open and about sharing, what the Corps is doing. So no doubt that'll probably end up on YouTube in February. Couple of things that she mentioned, though, was the transition from being an instructor to an administrator, if you will. Where she said that she's heard some things that she's had to say, nope, I've got to let it go. And I think that's quite interesting, because if you think back to when you and I marched, the brass caption head was also the corps director, but he wasn't really the corps director because the actual visual caption head had the title of corps director. They wore a lot of hats, if you know what I mean. Whereas now it seems to be very, your role is your role. Having a look at the Troopers webpage, don't really need to share this, but anybody can go to the Troopers webpage and have a look. The design team is pretty much the same design team from last year, with the exception of Color Guard, which I think nobody will deny that Color Guard was the weak link in the Troopers last year. And when I say that, I'm not saying that the members or the performers were in any way the weak link. They were given a soup sandwich of a design. But outside of that, the design team is pretty much the same. I like the fact that they're talking about going to the other side of Sunshine and Daisies. So
a little bit darker.
As if last year, the year before, weren't dark enough. I can't imagine what this is going to be like this year. Looking at the brass team, Tim Snyder's still the guy writing the brass show. He's written the last several brass shows, and for me, Troopers Brass has probably been one of the highlights of that corps. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. One name that did jump out there, though, looking at the brass staff, is the co-brass caption head, is Gabe Gallegos, who was the very long time trooper, drum major.
Okay.
Who I believe aged out, I'm going to probably get this wrong, I want to say in 19, so the year before they made it back into finals. So really good to see that. And then I had a quick look at the guard page. There's not a lot on there from as far as like who the actual instructors are, but we do have Michael Lentz heading up the color guard caption as also the designer. His background is very much BOA and also a bit of DCI, but a lot of WGI there. And then Jason Combs is the color guard caption head. And the thing that really jumped out when I read Jason's bio is that he was involved in the visual design for the 2014 Boston Crusaders. Do you remember what that show is?
Oh, yeah, SOS.
Oh, no. 2014 Animal Farm. It was 11 minutes of Boston sticking the middle finger up at DCI. I mean, possibly the darkest show that DCI has seen in the last 30 years. So I think they got the right guy there. So, yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of Troopers.
Yeah, and also, I'll put this on the screen, Battalion has had a lot of new staff come on. I don't know if you've seen all the little announcements from Battalion. They have a ton of staff from all over the place. You know what? Let me share it. All right, so you guys saw some clever editing here. But this is what really started catching my eye. They've had a lot of new staff come on from like all over. Dave Isaacs, new sound designer. He was with Vanguard. He worked with Troopers, Innovate, Blue Coats, Rhythm X, which is an amazing drum line. Red Line Percussion. I mean, his list goes on and on and on and on. Madison Scout. Dave Marsh with Capital Regiment, Madison Scouts, and Rhythm X. There's some more down here. Let me see if I can get to it. Sorry for the scrolling, everybody. Brandy Dubois. So I actually know her from Arizona. They have a huge, like I think I mentioned it before in the channel. Arizona has probably one of the best winter guard circuits that I've ever seen for like a region. They have tremendous support, tremendous staff there in judging and all that kind of stuff. But she was with Arizona State University. She's done their color guard for a long time. She worked with Academy, Blue Knight, Santa Clara, Phoenix Independent. They're a really good winter guard from there. Tar Heel Sun. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on.
Always liked Tar Heel Sun.
Yeah. And then here's another one. I hope I say your name. Josiel Wilson. He has a lot. WGI person. He's doing, what is he doing? Visual design? Choreographer. Okay, so he's doing like, looks like visual design and stuff like that. But I mean, that's just so crazy. I mean, look at this. Lindsay Schuler. Okay, so here's a name. She worked with Boston, Legends, currently the visual designer for the Troopers. So she's also on battalion staff too, writing the visual. They're really putting their money where their mouth is, I gotta say. I'm gonna have to watch the Battalion this year. But
yeah, I've liked what they've been doing, and I've also liked the fact that they've grown slowly. You know, you think about the Corps was founded in 2014. You know, they came out, they did a very limited tour. They bought uniforms from Boston Crusaders, and so it's like, you know, here was sudden Boston stopped wearing their traditional uniforms, and they suddenly showed up in Utah. You know, but
yeah.
But yeah, I think that they've done it the right way, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of them.
Look at this! Look at this! Tim Snyder, brass composer and arranger.
Yep.
Interesting. So, I mean, I'm good. Kudos to them. Great for them. I'm going to stop sharing real quick here. Switch us back. But that's just, you know, I mean, for 10 years, that's some huge growth. Good for them. Good for them. Trying to remember, was there anything else we were supposed to talk about on this podcast that we haven't gotten to? There was VK.
There is the little subject of the Velvet Knights.
There's a little subject of the Velvet Knights. So we're gonna watch the Velvet Knights because that's one of, I mean, they were rivals of ours because we're both California Corps. We're both in the lower, but let's be honest, both of us were below 6th, 7th, 8th place most of the time. Where you had Vanguard and Blue Devils kind of in the top 5 most of the time. So we were kind of in the lower part. They were in the upper part. So we were competitive against them. Blue Devils and Santa Clara were competitive against each other. But you know what? I really liked the Velvet Knights. Blue Knights. I really liked the Velvet Knights. They did a lot of cool stuff. They had a great horn line. Great drum. Their drum line used to beat Vanguard and Blue Devils most of the time, which was insane. And they were like sometimes in 10th place or 12th place.
Yeah, I mean, look, outside of the fact that their soprano line average age was about 27.
Yeah, there's always that.
It was easier to get away with it back in the day. What can I say? We both marched with a chap who aged out twice. Go figure. But no names will be given here.
He knows who he is.
He knows who he is, and I know he's probably watching too. But yeah, the VK was a funny old thing because the freelancers of the VK, I mean, you go onto like the Drum Corps coffee shop on Facebook, and all you see is VK members having a crack at the freelancers having a crack at the Velvet Knights. But you know what? Secretly, we probably both liked each other's shows quite a bit, and a lot of that came down to the fact that most of us actually knew each other quite well outside of Drum Corps. Freelancers used to send 1 or 2 buses every camp down to LA to pick up LA members to bring them back up to Sacramento. So you look at those buses, and the kids that were on those buses went to school with probably everybody who was marching in the Velvet Knights. So
and what's interesting is when a freelancer ended up running the Velvet Knights in '96. Yes, so
yes,
that's kind of interesting. So Clint, shout out to Clint.
But yeah, shout out Clint. But the other thing though about the Velvet Knights though, and when we watch this video, I believe it's I think it's Kurt Gowdy says, "And here they come, the clown princes of Drum Corps." I hate that. I always hated that because what they were is they were funny. They were topical. Especially the '92 show. I mean, the '92 show, they talk about things like the fall of communism and Pee Wee Herman. And for those who remember Pee Wee Herman, he had a little issue with the law around 1992. But they were entertaining, and their whole thing was, a lot of people think about the Velvet Knights, they didn't really care about placements. I think that's absolute codswallop. I think they did care about placement. If for no other reason, they wanted to be in finals so that they could perform their show in front of the big crowd,
Exactly.
I think they knew they were never going to win, but you watch this show and you tell me that isn't a rock-solid horn line, that there isn't a rock-solid drum line, and that their color guard is just selling the absolute hell out of this show.
Velvet Knights from Anaheim, California. They're back in the top final 12 after dropping out last year, but they are really something. They have fun, and they're always a crowd favorite, performing a parody of virtually every drum corps, including themselves. Look for the energizing bunny, the fall of communism, the wicked witch.
Come on, listen to the crowd. They haven't even played a note yet.
Yeah.
And now they've got the crowd doing the wave before they start. Leading the
those
crowd
pants,
in the wave.
dude.
Watch them up
I
there.
bought those pants. I love those pants.
Down the line. Big crowd here tonight.
I had a pair of the Zubas the drum majors wore.
These guys are a hoot. They tried to get a little more serious a couple of years ago, and it just didn't work for them. They really play the role of the clown princes of the activity very well. But I tell you, you better not be a clown unless you can do your thing well, and they do play well. March pretty darn good, too.
Yeah, they do march really well this year.
A lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to listen to.
They do. They march well. They play well.
And
as Steve said, I mean,
folks love them.
They practice just as hard as anybody. Listen to that. The crowd knows exactly what's getting ready to happen.
Exactly. Some cool, fun stuff. This was a fun show. I really liked this show a lot.
I think this is what modern DCI is missing, is just somebody to just have fun.
Drum majors are pretty formal-looking fellas, aren't they?
Yeah, aren't they, though? The only thing serious about these folks is their music. They play good music.
They practice just as long and as hard as anybody else. That's one thing you don't want to lose sight of with the Velvet Knights.
Love to fly, and it shows. And the opener they played 1,000,000,000 times.
But damn, they were loud that year.
They were hella loud. DCI punch. Nice. And that's that two-tone thing we talked about earlier.
Yeah, that color switch. It's just so effective.
And they marched Converse. They marched in Converse. Crazy, man. Back to the red. That's so cool, man.
So do you remember what brand of shoes they wore before the Converse?
No,
so the year they pulled out the Hawaiian shirts. So the Hawaiian shirts were actually out of necessity. They just needed uniforms. They didn't have any money. They wore Vans.
They wore Vans?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Watch the '84 show. They're wearing red Vans.
And that step back, I think, is someone else's visual. I don't remember whose visual it was, though. That step back.
Deb's, I think.
Ooh, God, that sound. Oh, my gosh.
I mean, this is tight. There's a 40-yard spread on the brass line there.
Really good balance and blend, man.
Slightly rated X from the crowd there.
Yeah. Pretty darn clean, man.
So mind you, VK missed finals the year before.
Yes, they did. We seem to swap back and forth. Because 90 they were in 10th, then we were in 15th or 14th or whatever it was, and then 91 we were in 10th, they were in 14th or 15th, and then 92 we were both in top 12 that year. But
so for those who don't remember, this is a little nod back to their '87 show.
Is this the... Oh, wow.
Taking the piss out of the Cavaliers here. Telling you, this video does not do justice with just how bright yellow those drums were.
Yeah. I really like the color contrast. I wish we would have done something like that. It helps your visual out a lot. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Simple. Energizer Bunny versus Godzilla.
I mean, this really was the kitchen sink show.
Yes, it was. It gets worse, too. As we get going. Look at that. That's Garfield Cadets drill right
Yeah,
there.
it's a Z-pull. I mean, they've taken the mick out of the Cavaliers. They've done a Z-pull for Garfield. Later on, they take the crap out of Santa Clara. I think this part here reminds you know what, they could play.
Oh yeah, this is a gorgeous piece. Really well played. You couldn't have that gun on the field now.
No.
That looks real.
It was the early 90s, it might have been.
Doing social commentary, man. How awesome is that? Now we're kind of back there again, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Just simple stuff, man.
This is what I mean about topical. Now that's art. I mean, come on! That was tight!
Man. That's Santa Clara. The visual.
In and amongst all of this, the thing that's easy to forget is that the design is top shelf design.
Oh yeah.
Lovely balance in the low brass there as well.
Yeah, this is a cool part. This is funny.
So imagine pre-season, they're like, all right, mate, here's what you're going to be doing.
You're going to play a hunter. You're going to play a bear.
And you're going to have a giant rack.
Little Madison Scouts.
Yeah.
This totally would not fly now.
No.
Look at that, man. Nice drill there.
VK Pit with their pit mechanic uniforms. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't call it front ensemble back then.
Whoops. What's so cool is go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say if you were on tour with these guys, you would see them add these things in throughout the year. They like see a core do something. Like in '89, they did the foot kick out right in the end of Phantom's show. They inputted that into their show by the end of the season. So it's just like.
And I mean, it takes some serious chutzpah to tease the bottle dance in the year that Santa Clara brought back the bottle dance. And the fat lady is sung.
And the shark.
Listen to the crowd! Listen to the crowd!
I only wish we could have got to see this show because we were backstage at this point.
The Velvet Night.
We sure as hell heard the crowd.
That's something. From Anaheim, California, if the crowd did the judging, they'd win this thing every year. They just love them. They're so innovative and clever and have so much fun.
I've been watching these guys for I don't know how many years, and I still don't know what to expect from them. They threw a couple of new surprises in on us tonight.
Yeah, they had Godzilla and then the crocodile. You could just wrap them all up as in.
Name me a single core now that would get that crowd reaction. They would have that much interaction with the crowd that would garner that. I mean, hell, the reaction before they even played a note at the beginning of the show. I've been saying it for a long time, and I will say it until I'm blue in the face. I think this is what DCI needs. DCI needs a core to fill this role. And the question is, who would it be?
Yeah.
You know, I think that Academy tried back in, I think it was 2014, and if I'm wrong, you'll put the flashing number of the correct
The Bunny Show, right?
With the Bunny Show, yeah. I think that there was, that show could have easily, they could have made that show a little bit more funny and then ran with that, you know? And for some reason, they did that show, which I thought it was a pretty good show. I don't think it made finals, but yeah, I mean, they could have run with that. And you know what? I would have totally bought into it, you know. And the thing is we've all heard the term hot dog core, you know. VK was nobody's hot dog core. Even in the years that VK wasn't that good, wasn't making finals, but they still weren't anybody's hot dog core.
No, everybody was always watching them to see what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
They're the what's going to happen next core. What are they going to do next show, you know? Even
what was it, 91, I think it was, when they went and did a straightforward show and did the Motown show. I think people still watched them just to see, all right, are they going to actually can this straightforward crap and bring back the old VK, which they clearly did in 92. Yeah, I miss the core. I miss that element of the activity.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I miss it's gotten so serious and so kind of
highbrow is the word I use. It's very highbrow.
Yeah, it's very highbrow, but it's also very PC, you have to be correct. And then I get why. I mean, don't get me wrong. I totally get why. It's just, you're right. It's missing the levity that it used to have. It used to have like a wonder. Like, what am I going to see? Like, you know, who, you know, like Velvet Nights, you can never go, well, they're going to play classical. or they're going to play jazz, or I know that, because you're going to see Blue Devils, you're going to see jazz. If you see Santa Clara, you're going to see classical. Phantom Regiment, you're going to see really classical, right? And like the symphonic, you know what you're going to see. Velvet Knights, they just threw everything that they could think of into a show and said, we're going to play it all and do it all for you.
And if you did something particularly memorable, or if you did something a bit silly or stupid, you could rest assured that VK was going to probably not forget that either.
Yeah, or put it in their show.
Exactly. So,
all right, we're going to go and wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. Please make sure you subscribe, like this video, and set your notifications. And then also make sure you join the community. Yeah, down there. Make sure you join the community.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Make sure you comment, share this video with those that you think would like this type of video or podcast or whatever we're doing. And be sure to go to the community page. That'll be down in the description below, so that you can be a part of the community. And if you would be so kind as to join the March or Die membership, you get those great perks that we talked about earlier. So thank you guys so very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much. And make sure you don't forget to watch next week's show, where we have Jason Burns, the executive director of Spirit of Atlanta, as our special guest. So thank you very much.
I can't wait, man. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen there. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. We'll see you on the next one. I've been the Stress Master.
And I've been the Tumor.
And we'll see you on the next video. March on.